But I know that at the end of the meeting, they were not dissatisfied.
That's the NMA? That's the NARD?
Yeah. No, NARD is a part of NMA. When we are talking to NARD, we must have NMA on board. That's the principle we carry. Sorry. That's a principle. So, and the NMA, the talk we had on Thursday, the NMA was there, NARD was there. And it was quite cordial. So we need to know actually what NARD is all about with the strike.
Well, you
and
did
that
say...
we'll find that out tomorrow.
You did say that before now, this issue of the IPPSS had been on IPPIS, beg your pardon.
IPs.
It has been on board for quite a while. Doctors have talked about how resident doctors are considered temporary staff, even though they work for at least 5 to 6 years, and so they're not on the pension scheme of the federal government. About how those who are just directly underneath the hospital's employment list, don't get their own complete salary. Meanwhile, those who are attached to the federal government system, are getting their salaries as and when due, and in total as well. And the federal government had been aware of this, and that you had been working towards, reconciling these differences, that you had spoken to the CMDs of hospitals. Yes, and look at how long it's taken.
Yeah. First of all, we have to find out the reasons for the anomalies, because this is actually an aberration. Why the doctors have not been paid, or have not been paid their full salaries. Way back when the skipping issue started, and they started paying, because when you skip, there's financial obligation to go with the skipping. I think most of the CMDs ran into shortfalls with that. And this, when this was discovered, the Federal Ministry of Finance started to rectify this by releasing batches of money. And at the meeting, we informed them that some money had been released to address the issue. And we also agreed here in paper, and we signed, that a list of all the hospitals that received, the disbursement should be compiled and submitted to the Honorable Minister of Health to enable Minister of Health to write them to ensure that the monies released must be used for salaries and arrears of salaries and nothing more. These were the things we agreed upon on Thursday. We haven't been given any chance to carry it out. The issue of IPs, we agreed on, formerly the NARD resisted very way years back. Later they agreed that they should be on IPs. Now we have all agreed, and even we wrote to the PENCOM. PENCOM defined what an employee is. Based on that, we have now agreed that resident doctors are on pensionable appointment. It's all here in these terms of agreement.
They are pensionable? Pensionable
is here, that on pensionable appointment. But they had this wrong notion that their pension, that is their own counterpart of the contributory pension, will be provided by government, that it should be budgeted upon. We had to explain to them at the last meeting, no. Your own part of the contributory pension will come from your salary, while the government will now budget for its own counterpart and pay. We had to explain that to them at the meeting, that is why it is contributory, it comes from your salary. And based on the 2014 reviewed Pension Act, I think the percentage has now increased. We signed off on that, and we agreed that that has to be done, and the timeline was also given, and that the Federal Ministry of Health, working with Office of the Accountant General of the Federation and Budget Office of the Federation, should prepare and prepare the budget.
Do you think that the stance of the Ministry of Labour and Employment right now, saying that the doctors have embarked on the strike in bad faith, could hamper the likelihood that doctors will show up for their talk tomorrow?
That is industrial relation language. You know, when you are conducting collective bargaining, the basic ingredients is good faith. So when after you had worked in that good faith and something else happens, we say it was in bad faith. It's just like their own medical jargon is our own industrial relation jargon. They acted in bad faith because they did not comply with the terms and conditions of our terms of settlement.
Well, you do know that jargon can mean different things in another parlance, because people are saying that, you know, that language was a rebuke of the doctors, and that the Minister for Health, you know, adopted a more conciliatory stance with the doctors, pleading with them to go back to work.
Now, when you talk about jargon, you must place it within